Hello, Starlings, and welcome to a very special edition of the Farts and Craps Show. Yes, this is the Beep Show. Yes, it is where we look at new games that are largely under the radar for a lot of people. So this is called Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. And just listen to that retro motherfucking goodness. You may recognize the art style here. Let's go ahead and game start. It is very much in an ode to the old Castlevania games, because it is made largely by the same people. Retro style challenge. Yes, please. Thank you. So, oh, we got some backstory. So let's go ahead and look at this. There was once a man who had been given the moon's curse by demons. That man was Zengetsu. Wrapped in crimson garb with eyes like fire, he relentlessly pursued the demons who cursed him. As he journeyed from one pit of darkness to another, he would stop at nothing until he struck down every last demon in his path. One night, he sensed the looming presence of a great demon. He swore to eradicate all demons, no matter how much of a threat they posed. Bathed in moonlight, he cried out as he drew his sword, which consumed the darkness from within its wretched steel. On that night, either the demons or the moon itself would feel the wrath of his blade. So yeah, it's from what I've been hearing about this game, it is very much a love letter to Castlevania 3, which, according to many people who have played it, I have not, because I didn't grow up with an NES. First off, this intro scene is very reminiscent of it, and the entire game, just how it plays, is very much in that same style, that same vein. Activate Curse. That's what we're playing, so... Okay, I guess there's no... Regretting a grievous error you committed in the past, movies carrying on to the flow of time gives you a chance to begin anew. Okay. Oh, you can go back. You can go back to previous levels. Okay, that's pretty cool. So yeah, so far, I'm liking the style. It's very retro, very cool. An important note I wanted to mention about this game is this game is also available for the Switch and Xbox One and Vita. That's right, you heard correctly, the PlayStation Vita, which Sony, by and large, has mostly all but abandoned at this time. So they, oh. Oh no. I had a limited amount of uses of that. I didn't see the bar, so... Anyways. So yeah, for all of the games that are in the Vita library, the handheld Vita is compatible. However, the PSTV, which I own, is not the same. There are quite a few Vita games that are just kind of staples to the platform, but are not compatible with the console version, essentially, because it isn't portable. it requires to be plugged into an AC power and does not have its own dedicated screen. And Sony has been very, very haphazard about clearly indicating which games are PSTV compatible and which games are not. So, for the past few years, actually, probably for the entirety of since the console's been released, the fans actually have been the ones that have been making these lists online about which games actually work with the PSTV. So this game did not support a much welcome feature that what is this? It seems I can use sub-weapons with triangle, however that requires more weapon points. If I destroy lamps, I can a magic potion restore my weapon points. I also understand that different colored lamps contain various sub-weapons I can use. Even so, I remain devoted to the sword. Oh, I see. So this is it. Oh, and that's 17 out of 20. Okay, I get it. And that's the whip again. Oh, okay, cool. Interesting. Alright, but I wanted to check the other path over here, so... oh, the skeleton's pointing to that thing. That's hilarious. So a lot of games that are both on the PS4 and the Vita are indicated with... oh, I can't go under there because I can't slide. Tricky dicky. They have this thing called cross-buy, where if you bought it for the PlayStation 4, you usually get the Vita version for free. Or they'll at least indicate, like Sony used to be fairly, a little bit more reliable with their listings, at least on the main PC version of the browser on the website for PSN, the online store. And they would indicate that these games are PSTV compatible, and you know, if it's not on this list, you know, don't count on it being compatible. Well, that kind of sucks for people like me that want to support the platform but do not have a handheld PS Vita, because I don't really care as much about having a handheld as much as I do about having a device I can stream and record from easily. So, and so it took me. I was debating for a while today. I was like, you know, do I actually want to freaking? Do I want to get the Vita version, you know, of this game? But ultimately, I was like, you know what, this isn't cross-buy. Sony's made that part very clear. You do not. It's either you buy one or you get or you buy the other one, and they're both $10. So I was like, okay, well, I could potentially spend $20 and just get both. I really have no need to, because most of the time these days, when I'm playing video games, I'm doing it for a recording or a stream. So to have, and I already have my dedicated handheld because I have a 3DS, or a 2DS XL I should say, and that is not a capture DS as they say, so that's most of the time when I'm playing in my free time when I don't need to stream or record, which is very, very rare. I probably play that thing maybe once a week. Shit. Well, I need to get good, son. So, yeah. While I didn't want to run the risk and like Sony didn't make it obvious if this game would work with PS TV, I was like, you know what? Why go against the grain so much? You know, it's one of those things where it's like you can get it for PS4 or Vita. While I appreciate the option, because you know, I know some people don't have. Not everybody has a PS4, but they still have their Vita. So, but that's a very, very small market. And honestly, I don't see the point in trying to fight against this thing that freaking Sony obviously should be supporting. They don't run advertisements for the Vita. A lot of games that come out for the Vita, they don't even specify that they are coming out for their handheld platform. And honestly, I just wanted the better version for the same price. Now, if they made the Vita version cheaper, that'd be an incentive. Or, you know, if they made it like, if they gave it, you know, features the PS4 version didn't have or something, there's no incentive to get the Vita version, is what I'm saying. Unless you just want it portable, which I get that. If I had my handheld Vita, I would totally be much more down for it, you know? Because retro games on the go, I mean, yeah, hell yeah. Who doesn't want a good old fucking Castlevania game, like on a portable, on a handheld system, you know? Like for a long time, Castlevania games were only on handheld systems during the life of the Game Boy Advance, during the heyday, I should say, of the Game Boy Advance and the original DS before the 3DS. If you wanted to play new Castlevania games, that was the platform. But now these games aren't being produced by Konami anymore, and I feel like that's part of the reason why things changed. And yeah, you know, different producers, different times. But while I would love to recommend the Vita version, unless you're getting it for your handheld Vita, I can't recommend it in good conscience. Partially just due to Sony's shoddy marketing of it, the console, and yeah, partially just due to the fact that even if you're getting it for the PS TV, even if it is compatible, you can't use wired controllers on the PS TV. So you're stuck with either a DualShock 3 or DualShock 4 or one of the rare other third-party controllers that is compatible with it, which none of them are officially licensed or very good, in my opinion. Yeah, and I've recently very much got into wired controllers, like third-party controllers that are officially licensed by Sony, because most of them are really good. Whether it's Hori or Nacon or Razer, they all make very, very high-quality pro controllers. That honestly should be the new standard for third-party controllers. Seems like I can probably go in this cart right here. But, I don't know, so far this game is amazing, and this is, like, the developers did specify that this is a pre-release promise, and that is why this game exists. It is not the Bloodstained. It's like the high-res one that's coming out later this year. But this is a badass-looking boss. But I guess it was like a Kickstarter promise that they made. Yeah. Okay, so now I can't get up there. Got it. But yeah, I gotta say, this is very well designed. It's very beautiful. The pixels look amazing. The art style, it looks perfect. And the fact that it's just some retro style goodness, you know? Oh wait, can I hit him from... Oh, I can't hit him from here. Shit. No. No. Ah, shit. Still got me. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on the matter. Ow. I think he's hurt. Yeah. Fucking dead. Change to casual and return the game. Save and return to the title screen. Or restart from the beginning of the stage. That's cool, they give you those different options. It's not just like reload from your last checkpoint kind of thing. So that's really cool. But yeah, as I mentioned, this is actually I don't know if I mentioned this part, but this is a cheaper game. It is $9.99, 10 USD on PSN right now. So quite a steal if this kind of thing is your jam. And while I haven't played Castlevania 3, I have played my share of Final Fantasy Castlevania games, including I played a little bit of the first game, a little bit of Super Castlevania 4, played Castlevania Rebirth, I believe is what it's called, I believe it's Castlevania, it's one of the Game Boy Castlevanias that was remastered for the Wii, WiiWare, and I'll probably be doing that for Halloween, honestly, this year. But Castlevania Bloodlines on the Sega Genesis. Castlevania Circle of the Moon for the DS and Harmony of Dissonance. Or was Aria of Sorrow? I don't remember. The one that was more like Symphony of the Night, because that's the one I've played the most, is the PS1 version of Symphony of the Night. And that is one reason I love my PS TV, is because it does play PSP and PS1 titles, and quite a lot of them. There are very few. It's mainly some of the PSP games that aren't compatible with the PS TV. I don't know how to get up there, but whatever. But I think that's all the Castlevania games I've played. Dracula. Oh, and Rondo of Blood. I haven't played it very much because I'm waiting. That's also going to be like a Halloween special. Probably going to do 2 Castlevania games this year for Halloween. But yeah, I do love these games. Like old school action RPG, like freaking fantasy adventure kind of shit. I love this kind of shit. It's awesome. But yeah, it's I gotta say, this is a fantastically made game. It's just fun. It feels perfect. It feels right. Yeah, shit. What is the... It just runs off? Okay. But yeah, $10. It's a hell of a good game, I gotta say, so far. And, the music is definitely catchy. I'm already freaking humming it to myself in my head. Like there's a definite loop happening. Yeah. There we go. What else did I want to say about it? I think that's about it, actually. But yeah, it's really fun. Like, it's really pretty. The kind of pixel art style on some of the more high-res shit kind of reminds me, well, even just the cleaner stuff, because the character sprites definitely look a lot like that NES palette. It's kind of how they did the characters in the early Castlevania games. But yeah, the style kind of reminds me a lot of like Hollow Knight in a way. Or Shovel Knight. Hollow Knight's also part of Shovel Knight, but yeah, you all know what I mean. Hollow Knight was the more like Dracula kind of esque DLC, the Castlevania kind of style part of that. Ow. Oh shit. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Yeah, I would highly recommend this game. And honestly, it makes me even more excited for the full release, Bloodstained, coming out later. Still later this year, I believe. And yeah, if you have a handheld Vita, I would highly recommend this for it. It's definitely one of the most fun retro games I've seen. I guess indie? I don't know if this would qualify as an indie game, but on a portable, available on a portable platform. It's not the Switch, because I know a lot of people don't have a Switch yet, but I don't know, maybe you still have a Vita, so I love the Vita personally, but Sony has kind of abandoned it, so that's kind of sad, but oh good, I beat him, I think. That was cool as fuck. But yeah, it's called Bloodstained, something of the Moon, Curse of the Moon. It's on PSN right now for Vita and PS4. It's also available on Xbox and Switch, I believe. And if you guys enjoyed what you saw, please leave a comment or just go pick it up and start playing it for yourself. I'll probably do a full playthrough on the channel, either on here or on Twitch, very soon, and I hope you all have a beautiful day. Many blessings on your journey. Thanks for stopping by.